Hello!
Hi guys, I'm Brent,
I'm Pat.
and we're both designers on Eden Rising, which is Invisio's new game that we're going to be showing you today.
Yeah, we got posters and everything.
Yeah.
It's great.
Thank you for showing up to check it out. So Eden Rising is an open world tower defense with 8-player co-op. Basically, you and your friends explore a world, craft gear and traps, and then test yourself with tower defense challenges. And it's in a unique science fantasy setting, which we will be showing you today, coming this spring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spring. That's soon. Jeez,
Yeah, exactly.
It's coming now.
So we're going to be running through the game, taking a look at some of the early stuff. And if you have any questions or comments or things like that, you want to throw in the chat, and we will address them.
Yes,
so,
we are watching the chat.
Yes.
You can see the questions coming through. Hopefully we'll have some time to answer anything anybody has for us.
Yep.
In the meantime, I see no reason to just stare at our beautiful faces. I think we should probably get this underway.
All right, that sounds good.
I'll be driving. Brent will probably be doing most of the talking, but I'll chime in from time to time.
Oh. Disclaimer. Yes.
Important disclaimer.
This is a game that is in alpha heading to early access. So you might see some bugs.
Yes, so the eagle-eyed viewers out there may spot a bug or two.
Yeah.
We know about most of the bugs that we're seeing. We're working on fixing those right now. This is not the final version of the game that people are getting their hands on, but it's pretty close, and we're pretty excited to show you some of the cool stuff we've been working on.
Exactly, yeah. All right, so let's jump in and check it out.
Let's do it.
Yep.
All right.
All right, here we are. So Patrick's character is standing in the Valley of the Ascendants, right at the beginning of the game. This is shortly after the tutorial, and he has come to this world, found out that it's inhospitable to him, so in order to survive, well, playing a female character, of course, but in order to survive, the characters in this game have taken on a basically alien transformation. That's why you're seeing that stuff on the character, including the weird thing on their hand that they're calling a glove. So you're a human, you're from Earth in the near future, but you are becoming more than human. And the tribe that you're going to form with your friends around these giant monoliths that you see in the center of the screen are going to become the masters of this world and become more than what they were before.
Yeah, so we've got this nice bright flashing indicator in the middle of the screen as to where we're supposed to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and start heading on down there.
Yeah, you can start heading in that way. So, of course, this is the world of Eden. And you are aligned with the aliens that are associated with those monoliths. But the philosophy of the game is that you have the tower defense and the traps that you sort of use in specific locations, but also anywhere. But you explore the world, and you do a lot of crafting, you do a lot of fighting, and you're always working together. So let's take a look. Right up here is the first thing that you come across that you can really start building up your character. So these are, of course, hard fungus. It's the native fungus of Eden, and you can use that to put together something to protect yourself.
Is it any good on pizza, Brent?
They haven't invented pizza in this world.
They haven't invented pizza in this world?
Sorry to say.
Oh, wow.
But that could be some of the human culture that you bring to it.
Yeah, I'm all right with that being the first piece of human culture we bring to an alien world.
Yeah. So you see that he's, right now, he's just scooping it up with his hands. He's being like a human. He might learn something later that would be even better.
Maybe handy.
Yeah. So what do you want to do with that fungus?
Let's see. Well, we can craft it into something. Got a nice crafting menu here. This game is, of course, the open world part of it, as Brent was mentioning, with crafting, exploration, gathering materials to build cool new gear. And the first thing, as much as I like the space underwear that my character is running around in, I think I need something slightly more durable to take on the beasts that we're going to encounter. So yeah.
All right. So now he's wearing the fungal cuirass, the first item you get in the game most of the time if you come out of here. It's up to you, of course. It's an open world, so you can go and do what you want. But we strongly recommend you finding some armor early on because the monsters are not going to go easy on you.
Yeah, it's not a friendly planet.
Yeah.
There's some mean people here.
So if I could talk a little bit about the open world and the sort of philosophy of the game itself. This is a game for players who want to work together and coordinate against like specific crafted challenges. So one of the things that you see in the more survival type games when it comes to tower defense and building gameplay is that since those games are totally open and procedural, it's a lot of fun, it's super cool, but it's hard to get a really good challenge going because since it's so open and the AI has trouble dealing with it, you often get dominant strategies where you just sort of do this same thing every single time. And so there's a lot to those games. I enjoy playing them a lot. But this game is more about those crafted challenges that you would see in games like interactive tower defense, like Sanctum 2 or Orcs Must Die or Dungeon Defenders, those sorts of things. So the intention is that you get your players together, you explore this world where it has explicit encounters and like interesting crags and lore for you to discover, and then you do these challenges that are more like a sort of like a raid-style encounter with 8 players for now, but up to 16 players later. So we really want to get that sort of community going, working together, that sort of thing. So, heading towards, this is obviously the monolith is huge, and there's a...
hiding behind that giant mushroom tree. There you go. Wow, that guy is big.
There's a lot of space in this world. This is just the Valley of the Ascendants, which is one of a number of areas that will be available in early access. And this is sort of the intro.
Yeah.
All right.
Intro area.
I'm sure... Oh, hey, what's this up ahead?
He looks friendly.
Your first
I think he's not quite as friendly anymore.
Yeah. He seems like he's gonna be trouble for you. So you see, we have an active combat system. He's trying to dodge out of the way, and looks like you blew it this time.
Yeah, with half of my health gone, I think I'm gonna go ahead and decide not to fight that guy.
Yeah.
That seems like a bad idea right now.
Yeah. The intention is that the world itself is dangerous, and so you need to be paying attention, and ideally bringing your friends with you when you explore. So heading into the camp, this place is safe. The monsters aren't going to come in here until they do.
Until they do, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. So let's get to the base here and see if we can activate this place.
Perfect. Here we are at the little indicator. It sounds so relaxing at that part.
Yeah. So you just put up the dome, and the dome is what protects you inside here. You are in the camp right now. You will resurrect here at your active camp. You will be healed whenever you're inside, and this is also where you perform the sort of big signature tower defense activities. It's not the only tower defense type stuff in the game, but the big challenges are here. So it looks like our friends Mike and Costa.
Mike and Costa have decided to join us. Oh, look at these guys, and they're wearing some pretty nice gear. A little later in the game, this is the kind of stuff you get, but we're developers. We get to show you the cool stuff right away. And we don't want you to think that it's just about grabbing purple mushrooms that you find around the place and slapping them on. No, we have all sorts of different colored mushrooms. No, that is a bad joke. I apologize.
We have at least 2 different colors.
At least 2 different colors of mushrooms.
Things other than just
and a few other things. So yeah, you can see Mike and Costa have some cool looking armor on.
Yeah, they're a bit ahead.
A little bit ahead, but I'm okay with my purple mushroom armor. That's feeling pretty good to me.
So let's do a little tour of the camp before we trigger one of the sieges. So this is the center here, and this is where the monsters are going to come. There are some things over here which you will be able to unlock, but you don't have the resources yet.
Yeah, we'll worry about that in a minute.
And if you look around the camp itself, you can see that it's built in lanes.
Yeah, we can actually pull that up on the map. Look at this, it's a map.
Yep. So the monsters are going to be coming from the outside and then heading towards the center.
Yeah.
And the actual monsters themselves are totally predictable. We tell you what they are. You can see them in the game world as well.
Yeah. When I go here, I can pull up a little interface.
Yeah.
And I can see icons right there, right in front of me.
Yeah. Bugs and squiddies.
Bugs and squiddies.
So you know what's coming, but you need to figure out the best way to react to those challenges. So this is on a relatively easy difficulty, and it's the very first siege. So there's only one lane that's active for the first siege in the game. But you can see that the areas are quite large, and so we've added these teleporters to sort of help you get around. And every camp has a series of teleporters so that you can, in the thick of it, pop between different lanes to help your friends or react to something that's coming in. And you can actually use these later to get around the world, teleport outside, but we'll take a look at that in a bit. So that's the lane that the monsters are going to be coming in for this challenge.
Yes.
So,
again, the first one in the game.
Yes.
Pretty easy. I'm not too worried about having much trouble here. But
The thematically, the idea is that your goal here is to restore all the crucibles, and you do that by rebooting them. When you reboot the crucible, it's sort of upgrading, and as a result, the dome comes down, and so the monsters come in and try to stop it. You need to kill all the monsters before the time limit, so it's all about being very efficient about how you kill them, and you can use traps, turrets, etc. to kill them more efficiently.
And to that end, I'm going to go ahead and craft a couple of our initial traps in the game.
Yeah.
The most basic trap in the game, the stickbot trap.
Yep.
Can you tell me a little bit about what the stick pot trap does there, Brent?
Yeah, so the stick pot trap, of course, it is very basic. What it does is it stops the enemies, so at least the smaller types of enemies. So those bugs that are going to be running at you, they are going to just run straight to the camp and explode. So you want to stop them with the stick pot trap and then kill them. So because this is an 8-player game up to 16-player later, a lot of the traps and turrets aren't just about killing the enemies without anybody there. They're about making it easier for you to kill the enemies. Or if they're the type of thing that does damage, then you often need to protect those. So it's all about sort of the synergy between the players and the traps, and the players between each other. So again, super basic first siege. We can start it right now. You can check out the Crucible screen.
Yeah, I got a little stick pot trap down there to help me out.
Yep. So he's going to do the first siege.
Yeah, you can see a nice big list of sieges over here. There's
Yep.
no shortage, and going to add more and more as this game goes on.
Yeah, and this is just one of the Crucibles in the game. I'll add, in addition to their mini Crucibles out in the wild, etc. And the goal is that as you build these things up, you access new tech for your tribe. Like he's going to get primitive arms here, which will be able to do better than the black stick you have right
the
now.
sticky boy that I got in my hand.
And ultimately, you'll be able to, you are promised the God equation if you can access them all.
That sounds important.
Yeah.
So the siege is
more
about that later. The siege is underway. We've got a nice big timer at the top. We have only so much time to defeat all of these enemies. We've got some friends with us here too, who can make short work of these ugly little bugs for us. Oh yeah, we
totally demolished them.
Yeah.
This is actually set to a difficulty easier than you would normally have for 3 players, so we could probably stand back and let Mike and Costa handle it.
Yeah, we can let these guys do it for us. Well, it's fun to come in and take a swing.
Yeah.
Especially when I put traps down. Yeah.
So again, first siege, super simple, and looks like they're going to have no problem taking care of these Medusa bugs. After this siege, you'll start getting more complicated traps like turrets and things like that. And those traps, he's using them during the siege, but you can also use them anywhere in the world in order to overcome any sort of challenges. Just a little bit you can see about the combat system here. It is an active combat system. These guys are all using melee weapons, but there are also ranged weapons and mana-style options in the game so that you can cover like a wide variety of different player types.
Yeah, we've finished off the siege here. We defeated that entire wave. That is, again, the most basic siege in the game, just to give you guys a feel of how this is going. We're going to check out some slightly more difficult ones in a bit. We've got a list of rewards here, which include power to the Crucible. Use power from the Crucible when you're putting traps down in the base. It can only power so many turrets, so many traps at a time.
Yeah.
So as you progress through the game and unlock more power, it's going to allow you to have more traps, which will deal with more monsters that are coming down more lanes. Then you get an idea of where this is going. It's going to get more and more complicated, more and more strategic as the sieges go on throughout the game.
Yeah.
We've also got, as Brent was talking about earlier, the primitive arms have unlocked, so I think we're going to check that out in a minute, because as much as I like hitting things with a stick, I like hitting things with a pointy stick a lot more.
Absolutely.
And the last one is Refined Essence. You want to talk about Refined Essence a little bit there, Brent?
The steward's actually going to chime in as soon as you close this as well.
That's right, he is.
The steward is the AI that speaks for the Crucibles. He's the one that transformed you right at the beginning. He leads you through the tutorial and lore that you find along the way. But the essence is used to upgrade your camp. The refined essence, for example, you can build factories that'll produce traps faster, gardens, and also build spots that you can build on that give bonuses to your traps and turrets. All right, so I see we have a question in here about can we use different characters. I'm a bit unclear on what that means, so you can clarify. But this, if you're talking about like the style of player, the style of builds and things that you can do, then the way it works is that you customize your character at the start in terms of like visuals, but then during the game you define your character through the equipment that you put on. So like we don't have a rigid class system. Instead, you can equip different sorts of items in order to build the kind of character that you want. So for example, there's armor that's focused on making you move faster, improve stamina. There's armor that's focused on resisting physical attacks or special types of attacks. There's mana-focused armor. And then there are a wide variety of weapon types both melee, ranged, and also the glove that you'll be seeing shortly that let you sort of build the kinds of characters that you want.
Yeah. And if you're more concerned about the specific model, I believe at Early Access, we're starting with just this character model.
Yeah, the female character.
Yeah, the female character is the baseline that we have in the game.
And then we're going to add the male character during Early Access.
Yes, during Early Access. Focusing on just a single model. There's a lot of technical details around that. If anybody loves dev talk, you can listen in at this exact moment. But having only a single character for rig and animations makes this sort of thing a lot easier for us to bring features in rather than having to do every attack, having 2 sets of animations, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because we want these characters to look cool, right? So focusing for the purposes of Early Access just on a single character model really helps us get something really high quality and cool looking, and that sets the bar and your expectations for you guys so that when we add the male character later on, you can expect it to look just as cool and just as immersive as the female character.
Yep.
Cool beans. So we're hanging on the base.
So you got a new tech. So
yeah,
let's
I did.
take a look. The tech gave you access to the fungal glaive and the fire slinger. So this is where you get to make your choice between your first melee or ranged weapon. You can always build something later.
Yeah.
And it looks like you've already got some of the resources you need. Some of the rare fungus and the normal fungus.
Can I build 2? No, I can't. Just 1 at a time.
you only need 1.
Just 1 for me. And I'm going to build definitely the melee weapon because I'm very vain and I designed all of the melee weapons in this game, so I'm going to focus on that because that makes me very happy.
So you can take that melee weapon and maybe run north and do some gathering?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Which way is north? This is the way is north. Yeah, we can head out into the... Well, wait a second. Oh, what is this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
so
yes.
You have enough essence now, having completed that first siege, that you can put together the Ascendant Core Garden.
That's
so
great.
The Ascendant Cores are the sort of baseline crafting item for turrets. So all the turrets in the game, each one of them requires at least 1 Ascendant Core. And so at the beginning of the game, you can build an auto turret with it. So you can take that auto turret and plop one outside to help you fight some of the monsters. The auto turret is exactly what it sounds like. It's a turret that fires repeatedly. And there are various ways that you can sort of buff it if you place it in camp. You also need to protect it if monsters will, of course, attack it, just like in any tower defense. But you can, the way that the system works is that while you're in the camp, you have a source of power, which is the camp itself, and so you can use a lot more. While you're out in the wild, you have your own source of power, each character individually, so you are powering those turrets. You guys can head out here, go fight a wild Medusa, figure out what those glowing things are.
Oh, where the glowing things. I love glowing things, Brent.
Yeah,
You're speaking my language. I love glowing things.
Boom.
Oh my.
Sorry.
I don't think I like glowing things as much anymore, Brent. That's rather rude of you to direct me to that.
So Patrick just ran into a cluster of pod mines that were in that grass. The pod mines themselves are actually very useful because if you can grab them, then the monolith will sort of retune them to work against the enemies. But if you just run on top of them, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous world. So I think you might need to find something to help heal yourself.
Oh my. Yeah.
So first time you pick up one of these, you're going to get a notification to tell you about how to do it. But basically, when you're out in the wild, our goal is to make you have that feeling of being able to scavenge for the resources you need. So you can scour under the mushroom trees, and sometimes you'll find those healing bolts that you can use. The mushroom trees have sticky resin, which you use to help make the stick pot traps, of course. So you want to put out a turret to fight that wild Medusa?
Well, first I need to build one, don't I?
Oh, yeah, true.
Sounds like a great idea. Okay, so I'm going to build up one of these auto turrets. It's one of the most basic turrets we have in the game. It shoots things. It's very helpful. Obviously, the turrets, they get a little bit more advanced as you go further in, but we just want to demo to you guys some of the basic stuff to get a feel for how this works.
One thing about those blueprints and things, this game is very, very co-op focused in terms of what everybody's doing together. So things like the blueprints that you earn. Somebody alerted him. The blueprints that you earn are all shared, and the progression that you as a tribe have is shared as well. So
let's get him near this turret. There we go.
Anything you earn is basically going to be shared with your tribe. So pop onto a server and you're all working together. Now, you can keep your equipment to yourself if you want, but then you have to keep it on your person. Hopefully, you will sometimes choose to pop it into the global storage so that somebody else can pull it. the goal is that anybody can sort of have a role that they want and sort of use that role, but if they need to switch it in order to react to the challenge that's ahead of them, then they can.
Perfect. Well, I'm not liking how dangerous it is out here. These guys are feeling pretty rude. I think it's time to go back into the camp.
Yeah, that's a good idea because the next technology you get is going to make a pretty big difference for you.
All right, excellent. Well, I guess I'll head back in. Maybe I'll take a minute and make some more of these turrets.
Yeah, you're going to need those.
Yeah, those guys look friendly. Whoop, whoop. Got a handful of them.
Yeah.
You know, do I have enough for any stick? No, I'm still missing some. Oh wait, that was to craft a whole bunch of them. There we go.
Looks like you have enough. So
I
yeah,
have enough. I'll make a couple of those too.
Yeah. So anytime you see those bugs, you're gonna need those stick pot traps.
Yeah.
And the stick pot traps are also, of course, if you played tower defense before, they're very useful in front of the turrets because they will keep the monsters in front of the turrets longer, especially those monsters that don't aggro on them, like the bugs.
Yep.
So it looks like
if I pull up the map this time, we'll take a look at what's going to happen for the next siege. And as you can see, we've actually got two spawn points of the enemies here, one C and one E, and they actually merge together at a cool point here and march towards the Crucible. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to head down these, and our good friends Mike and Costa are going to head over to spawn point E, and I trust them. I trust Mike more than I trust Costa.
you can get Costa to help you out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, Mike, you can go do that by yourself. Costa, how about you come and hang with me? We're going to head over near the spawn point C and lay some mean old traps for these monsters who are coming.
Yeah. So the monsters, it looks like we've got the bomber bugs and a bunch of Medusa. So 10 of those Medusa buds are going to be coming out of there. Since it's a whole horde, you're probably going to want some turrets to deal with them.
Yeah. A little bit of help here and there. So how about we start? Yeah, that's where they're going to come from. So I'm going to start. Yeah, I'll put a nice big stick pot trap down right there. Throw down maybe a couple auto turrets. Why not?
Yeah, we'll smack them up.
Yeah, let's blow these suckers up.
Go
big or go home.
There's a super cool feature coming in this week, which hopefully we'll do another Twitch stream and you can show you. But the turret killing monsters is going to get a big boost next week.
Yeah, we're working
super
on
excited about it.
Special effects and cool things to really let you feel the power of these turrets as they melt the weird little bugs as they march up the lane.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we've got auto turret to the left of me, auto turret to the right of me, stick pot trap right in front. I think that we're ready to blow up some monsters. The green flashes that you're seeing are when I am looking at these turrets, and they're showing us the range of where the turret is going to shoot, just in case you're wondering why that green is happening.
Yeah. Again, Alpha. Do some cleaning up.
Yep, some cleaning up.
We're giving you the feedback first so that you can experience the gameplay.
Excellent.
So looks like this time you're going to earn Metallurgy.
Ooh.
Metallurgy is going to let you extract ore. Metal, pretty good for the advancement of civilization.
Would you say it's better than the multicolored fungus that we have?
It's just different.
Just different? Okay.
Different.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's begin this siege. Mike and Koss, are you guys ready? Look at that ready, check, go. We got 3 readies up there, and it's go time.
Right. So, I'm sure Mike can handle it himself.
Yeah, Mike's fine. It's Costa who I think needs some babysitting here.
Costa is a very talented level designer. He's been working on the valley and other areas.
Perfect. And look at him go. Costa knows what's up.
Okay, yeah.
I don't even need to. You know what? I take back everything I said about you, Costa. You're all right. You're doing a great job here.
We probably should have gone on higher difficulties.
Maybe slightly, but we don't want to lose in front of the fans. That's
true. That would be very embarrassing.
That'd be very embarrassing. I came to the party too late. These auto turrets are great.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, these guys are speedy though.
We do have different. We already lost the stick pot trap.
Oh no, I did. I'm a fool.
Right.
I'm a fool, and I did this all in the wrong order. Sometimes.
Costa. All right. Looks
there
like
we go.
Took care of it.
Costa took care of it. Thankfully, one of us knows how to play the game, and the answer is apparently it's Costa.
So we are playing multiplayer, but there is difficulty settings for different quantities of players, including single player. If you're playing single player, you'll have fewer lanes at a time, and you'll want to rely more on the turrets to sort of help you out. So we are trying to balance the game so that different sizes of groups can still enjoy it and have a really good challenge.
Perfect. Looks like Mike took care of the monsters in his lane. Good job, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, we're very proud of you, Mike.
All right, so it looks like you got metallurgy.
More power.
Yep, you got 190 essence. That means that you did pretty well.
It's not too bad.
They are rated, and you can go back and try them again later to earn better rewards.
So you're saying that the refined essence scales based off of how well they've done in the game?
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, so let's take a look at what you can do with the metallurgy. It says extraction glove recipe discovered. And so what is the extraction glove? It's going to let you extract minerals, so and also any other resources, so you don't have to pick them up like a scrub.
I don't have any. What are these? Mana droplets.
Yeah. So
all right.
It looks like they're often found washed up on shores, so you might have to go find a shore nearby.
Wow. I don't see anything there, but you know what? I bet you one of these towers that we're climbing up all the time might give me a good view. Oops, I can't jump that high apparently.
Yeah, so the crafting is very tightly integrated with the sort of like progression and the exploration we want to do. So like we really want you to be looking for these hints and use it as a means to explore the world. So it looks like there might be an ocean off to the side.
Yeah, that's I can see something that looks like a shore down there. So that seems like a good place to start.
Yeah, probably. You should head down there.
Mike and Costa, you guys gonna tag along and keep me safe, because apparently you don't need me.
Yeah.
You guys are much better at this than I am.
All right, so out there.
Won't worry about that next wave.
Yeah,
that's the next siege. We're not going to worry about that at the moment.
Exactly.
Head out from the safety of the dome. Check out what's happening in the distance here.
You'll see that there are little signs set up around the world. That's because the Ascendants used to be here, and they've left these devices. So maybe there's some stuff you can learn about them if you explore those.
Yeah, messed that guy up.
Killing some Medusa buds. And it looks like there's a sign.
So what does it say? Arrival site. That's a lot of cubits away.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, we didn't see it earlier, but cubits seem to be a unit of measurement that these guys
A classic unit of measurement.
Yeah. Okay, so we're on the shore here. You'll note that the water on Eden...
It looks delicious, Brett.
Yeah,
it looks green is my favorite color.
Go
I'm
going to
go for a little dip in here.
Oh.
This seems like maybe not a great idea.
Yeah. You want to stay out of that. There are solutions to problems like this, and of course that's blocking you from getting where you want to go. But it's another sort of crafting environmental challenge. We want players to craft their way out of these sorts of predicaments. So it looks like you've picked up 3 mana droplets.
Sounds like as many as I needed for this extraction glove.
Yep, put one of those together. And let's see how it works.
Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, so I can... the glove is this left hand of the player there. You can see it doesn't look like a normal left hand. It's a little bit different than yours or mine, just a touch. And we can actually equip and use the glove here. I'm going to go ahead and let Mike and Costa keep me safe. Run over to this field of mushrooms, because I've been enjoying collecting the purple mushrooms we've had so far. And I'll start using this glove. Oh, yeah.
So, as you can see, this is a much more efficient way to go about it. You've played Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon, things like that. You know, you upgrade your watering cans, and then you can gather more. One of the ideas behind this sort of like tribes is that like different players might enjoy doing different things in the game. They might be the ones who want to go out and chop up monsters and get their parts. Other ones might like to more manage the resources that they find and gather them.
Mm-hmm.
Others might want to seek out the mini sieges that you can find. But
got some got some
go.
metal here, which I guess I need my glove for. Yeah. Ooh, recipes discovered over there on the left. Right down there. I'm looking. You can see where my head is nodding down that way.
Yeah. So we've gotten metal. So there's going to be some.
Anything neat here I can do?
You got. That's in your weapons. You haven't got any new weapons. You got metal cuirass that you can work for. But I happen to know that if you keep gathering, you will. If you get one of the rare resources, it might unlock something else.
That guy doesn't look friendly, though. I kind of want to stay away from him.
Yeah. You should stay away from the Gorgons because they have very thick hide that you will want to find a way to crack.
I'm gonna just kind of scooch away from that guy. He doesn't seem to mind the water so much.
You'll note that as you're running... Oh, there's some more. you're running throughout the world, you can see other sort of devices or bits of the corruption, as we're calling it, that the Ascendants have placed there. And there's things you can do with them in order to sort of like build your network across the world.
I'll go check that one out. I want to keep mining all this tasty ore. I love collecting like shinies in the environment. I'm a bird.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bird. I go out there, I collect things that, are pretty colors. They distract me.
Still haven't gotten a rare yet.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Somebody needs to adjust those numbers.
The RNG needs more R.
Yeah. What's that?
Oh, it's cool looking.
Let me pick that up.
I'm going to take it. Whoa, jeez.
All right. So you just got a data key, and those are collectible items. So you said
Ascendant cores.
open world tower defense, and that's it really is sort of like an open world game in that you need to go out and explore. Oh, it looks like you did have.
I did get enough in there. I did.
All right.
To get a hammer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That's much. I like that even more than pointy sticks.
It's a big step forward from the sort of like Neolithic age you were at before.
Yeah. Ooh, yes. Oh, I'm liking this.
All right, let's see what you can do with
take
that.
some swings with that one. Oh yeah.
Whoa.
That's what I'm talking about.
And a
Heavy
big
attack.
slam.
Yeah, nice heavy attack. The game, because you guys don't know what I'm actually doing with my hands right now, we've got a handful of different attacks you can do in melee combat. Clicking the left mouse button will execute your basic combo of a flurry of attacks. In this case, a little bit slower. The hammer is a heavy, slow, strong weapon. Right-clicking the mouse will do a heavy attack. These are much slower, much more powerful. Typically have special effects that they proc upon impact. Here, Mike and Costa, let me take care of these guys. I'm feeling confident.
Let's see, are they going to last long dodge?
Let's see.
I guess you also could have put on the heavy armor.
I could have, but I just want to show these guys who's boss with my hammer.
I
really want to do the special attack. I love the special attack on this.
Oh, do it.
Do it. Wait. Here.
Yeah. All right. So we've got the gamut of the normal combos, heavy attacks, special attacks, sprint attacks, jump attacks, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, special attacks build up as you fight enemies. You saw that little bar to the left of my character building up. Once it's full, you can press the Q button to execute sort of a immediate awesome attack. In this case, the awesome attack has me spinning around in a circle and wailing on the enemy, stunning them as well with my giant metal hammer. Yeah.
So that's how it works with the melee. It's actually different with range.
Yeah, it is different
with
range.
They're meant to be more of a tactical support role.
But I feel like we'll be talking about that in a future stream or a future video.
One of the other things about the hammer that's very important is that you smash that crab.
I did.
You're going to. It's useful for the co-op aspect because the heavy attack is also an armor break. Mm-hmm. So foes like the Gorgon, they resist the damage that you do. So you want one player to bring either a hammer or one of the other tools that supplies the armor break effect in order for everyone to be efficient in killing them. And so there's a whole bunch of mechanics like that to sort of like force you to either work together with other players or work together with the traps.
So what do we got here? This is a pretty cool looking spot. Oh, we've been signaled. We have a question.
All right, so do we keep all the weapons like Monster Hunter, or do you replace them forever like an RPG? So actually, one thing we didn't talk about.
There's something I can show in the crafting menu specifically for this.
Exactly.
Now that I have a hammer, you can see that we've got the Metal Hammer Plus, which is an upgrade to the base Metal Hammer. So the attacks are generally the same. The power, though, some of the special abilities do get more powerful, if I recall.
So you basically do a couple levels of Metal Hammer, and then you have a branch where you can choose different paths, and those are usually gated by tech. But those weapons that you get at the beginning of the game, you can keep upgrading them, and at the late game, they are meant to be balanced across each other.
Yeah, so you can. It's not just about going from the rod to the glaive to the hammer. There are a bunch of glaives, there are a bunch of hammers. You can use whichever kind that you enjoy more. The glaive is, as you saw before, a speedier weapon. It's more acrobatic, has cool flips and slashes, but it's not very good against heavily armored enemies because it's about that flurry of attacks, whereas the hammer, being really slow but with high attack power per hit, and with its, as you mentioned, the armor breaking abilities, works really well with other people who have the glaive.
Exactly,
So there's a little bit of, you want to have a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, find combinations of weapons and special abilities on the weapons that work. But you don't ever, if you want to have a metal hammer at the very end of the game, if you want to pull, let's beat the hardest siege in the game with the weakest weapon in the game, be my guest. I am looking forward to those Twitch streams. I will totally watch those.
Keep in mind, everything in the game is crafted. So, like, you're not going to find just a weapon. You're going to find blueprints to lead you to weapons. So this is a game where you're building all your stuff, and we don't want your stuff to just be thrown away. So that's why there's a big upgrade system. All the armor as well. This is actually level 1 of the fungal armor, and you can improve that. Same with the metal armor he's wearing.
I can actually go back in here. I can look at some of the things.
Yeah, and often you need to use monster parts in order to upgrade your stuff. So there's the aspects of exploring and finding these things just in the world, and then there's also actually killing the monsters in order to get the resources that you need. And the way that the blueprint discovery works is that you're frequently unlocking blueprints through the text system, but that's not the only way. Like, as you discover new resources in the world, it will also discover some blueprints. So you were actually looking at that is one of the telesite network. So this is part of the sort of like open world content. Whenever you find one of these, it's a teleporter, you need 3 data keys, and there's always 3 data keys nearby.
I already grabbed one of them, didn't I?
You did indeed. But if you sort of like look around and keep an eye out for some of that corruption type material, then you can find out where the other data keys are. Now, actually getting to them and whatever horrible things might be in the way, that's another
That's my own problem to solve, is what you're saying. All right, I think I might have the tools available. And yeah, I'm actually relatively, a short jaunt away from that crucible of ours. So having a teleport tower out here would be super helpful. Oh, I feel like Costa just found some friends.
Some ambushes. One of the...
I can help!
Again, these guys are battling.
Yes, this is...
It's a lot easier.
Yeah, we are absolutely making short work of enemies who can be much more difficult. I assure you, they usually are much more difficult.
The wild Medusas often kick people's butts in the beginning. But like that tall grass there, like the idea is that when you see tall grass, you need to be careful. Players are supposed to be learning to become like a tribe on this world who can master their environment. So it's always about there are hazards, and you learn them yourself as a player, and then you can keep an eye out for them in the future. We don't want to like screw you. Instead, we want to teach you.
Absolutely. Do you have anything else you want me to run around and show here, Brent?
Let's see. You could...
Our list of fun things that we've been going through.
Let's see. You could head to the... You could head up there, actually. That you see there's another spot.
Yeah.
You can probably find a data key up there.
Oh, wait, I see shiny things, but I've learned my lesson. I'm going to take this
when you pick those up,
a little bit more carefully. Gonna grab.
There you go.
Oh, hey, I got an achievement for that.
Yeah.
I feel so accomplished.
The early game achievements are designed to sort of like lead you along. There's actually an achievement list that you can look at.
I can put that pod mine down. I'm gonna try that. Don't kill him, guys. I wanna. Oh no. Okay, let me just put that mine down.
Already, so.
Yeah, I want that mine to blow him up.
The traps take a little bit of time, so it's better that you put them out first. Come here. Boom.
Yeah.
And it also stunned him.
Oh, he's stunned and
he is.
Bam-o.
There you go.
Oh, jeez, he brought friends. There we go. Oh, that hammer really does it. Smash through those guys.
We're doing siege tests internally frequently and doing some balancing. The hammer has been a bit OP for a lot of our development. So we're trying to mix them all together. There's actually a weapon that, because you guys haven't fought very many of the Myrmidons, one of the other early weapons you can get is the Bident, which is a lightning fast sort of like pokey device.
Yeah, it's kind of almost spear-like in its operation.
Spear with 2 prongs.
Yes, with 2 prongs. Well, I mean, if it had any more, it would be a trident, and that's just ridiculous. That's too many prongs.
Too many prongs?
Too many prongs. 1 prong. There's stuff up there. I really want to go check it out. How do I get there?
Here, why don't you...
No, don't tell me.
All right.
I'm exploring.
Okay.
This is... I'm doing the open world exploration part.
All right.
It's rather enjoyable. Yeah. I feel like I'm getting to the place I need to be.
Of course, in part of our level design, a huge amount of it is you looking around, seeing something that looks interesting, and then finding the way to get there. It's obviously super important for an exploration.
Wild Medusa. I'm going to put maybe a mine.
Oh, looks like he saw you.
Oh, no. Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Oh, bring them over here, guys. I've got mines and stuff. Oh god, there's 2 of them now. This is getting rather exciting. I feel like we should be able to take this.
Put down the stick clock trap.
I did. Well, I was hoping.
Oh, you could probably build yourself a... Oh, you got the special. You could probably build yourself a metal armor if you want.
Do I have the materials?
You gathered a lot.
Ooh, I do. I did gather a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to do that. That sounds great. That looks much cooler than my... Yeah, that feels better.
All right. So
I got some notifications there though. Some stamina penalties. What's going on there, Brent?
So of course, because we have a classless system, we're using different ways of balancing them across. So the heavier the gear you choose to wear, the more of a stamina penalty, which means that you will have a tougher time dodging, for example. So you're going to take less damage, but you're going to need to. You're going to take more damage because you won't be able to dodge as much. All right, so it looks like you got 3 data keys. I happen to know that there is actually a teleporter right there.
Right over this way?
Right there.
Right here. Oh, wow, that was fast.
So
excellent.
Let's put one of those together, and you should now be able to go right back to camp whenever you want.
That'd be excellent. Oh, that's much faster than walking that whole way, and I can go back too.
Yep. So you're
Wonderful.
building this network and sort of mastering this area. And again, this is just one of the biomes in the game, the valley. There are a number of other ones that you can get to. In fact, just a bit earlier, Patrick was close to a nearby biome. But each of them have their own challenges, and of course, when you get there, you're going to have tougher monsters. And we're not going to stop you from going there if you could make it. It's just, you're going to have a tougher time until you've crafted yourself up.
Exactly. I think that brings us pretty much to the end of what we have to show.
Yeah, we have
although
one little preview that we can do. We'll just
I'll pull this one up.
Do we have any other questions? Some people were asking about. We mentioned the single player thing. So yes, you'll be able to play single player. And the way that the server is set up is you can create your server, and then you can invite other people later if you choose to add more people, but the game will be balanced so that you should be able to have a good experience by yourself. We're very conscious of wanting to support that experience as well. And over the course of early access, we intend to add, like we mentioned before, getting more players into the game and more content like biomes, weapons, etc., and then some cool events that we want to happen in the game. So we're very excited to get this out to players soon so that they can start giving us feedback. We can be tuning the sieges and understanding exactly what people want from the game.
Excellent.
All right. So
yeah, it looks like we've got one other thing.
Yeah, let's jump back in. We're going to give you a little preview of some of the stuff that you can see later on. Patrick has jumped ahead to the area we're calling the Shattered Causeway, and it's quite a bit different than the area you saw before. You can see there is another crucible out there, but it's in a sort of different state.
It looks like it's had a bad day.
Yes, it's indeed. And so this area is sort of warped by an incident that happened in the past, and obviously it's not so great, but it's a super cool environment that I think you'll enjoy exploring in the future. There's one of a number of them in the game, and they're quite large. Let's see. Can you see? You want to look at the map?
Look at the map, yeah.
So this is a pretty large area. You can see how small Costa and him are, but if you keep zooming out,
that's about as far as I can zoom out.
That's about as far as you can zoom out.
That's how big it is.
All right, so it's pretty big when you're in the game. There's lots of stuff to explore.
Yeah, that looks like a good hike to get over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good to me. Well,
so I'm going to ask our our Twitch producer, Gemma. Gemma, do we have anything else we need to address? She says we're good.
We're good. We've gone through all the things we plan to go through. We'll hover here and make small talk banter for a brief extra moment just to make sure that there aren't any other pertinent questions coming up on the stream that Gemma is taking her, or she's looking at very closely. And until then, we'll take a brief moment. I'm just going to ramble incoherently to fill time.
Oh, like you do at your job.
I mean, that is my job. I'm a designer.
Exactly. Yeah. So, is that enough rambling?
A little bit too real happening right there. Perfect. Yeah, I think we've hit the end of this. I don't think there's any more questions coming on. Of course, if you do suddenly come up with a burning question at 3 a.m. tonight while you're in your bed sleeping comfortably, there will be more streams in the future. There will be more ways to get in touch with us. We've got Facebook pages. We've got other social media that I don't remember.
We have
Twitter,
a pretty good website.
There's a website as well.
And also the trailer, if you haven't seen it yet. The trailer tells you quite a lot about the game and shows you some of the content that you can experience.
We've got a Steam page as well. Remember to throw us on your wish list if you'd like. It helps you get all kinds of tracking of the posts we're doing if we're on your wish list, stuff like that. Yeah. And it helps us out as well. It gives us more visibility. So a little bit of we help you, you help us. It's going to be great stuff.
Okay, well put. So, thanks for coming, you guys. Super excited to show this to you, and we'll show you some more soon.
Thank you very much.